Hey, Dustin here, Smoking Eagles Rod Shop. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, narrator, comedian, and stuntman. And today we're going to be building exhaust for Carmen Electra. She's had hater pipes on her since I got it running. I was going to schedule and get some exhaust put on this thing, but my exhaust guy didn't have time. We've got our first event in 5 days. And so I decided, hey, let's just build custom H-pipe exhaust with no bender and a Harbor Freight welder. So I ordered a handful of exhaust parts off of Amazon that says that you can build your own exhaust, and we're gonna see if I can figure that out. I drew us a diagram. Super fancy right there. That's our game plan. We're gonna build an H-pipe exhaust that'll give us a little more torque, and it'll drop our torque down lower in our RPM range. Now, if you know about these big block Buicks, you know that it's already making hella torque down low, but we're gonna move it down even lower, guys. We're going for all the torqueses that we can muster out of this thing as low as possible. I want to be in the pit at like 3,200 RPMs, the motor not even trying, and just ripping tires off. So anyway, here's all the junk that I got to make this happen. I ordered this kit off of Amazon. It's a 2.5 inch kit. They had 1 3/4 inch, they had 2 inch, 2 1/4, 2.5. I don't know. They probably got 2 1/8, 3 inch. Get whatever you want, but it has two 180s, two 90s, two 45s, and 2 straight pieces, and it was less than $100. It was like $85, $87, free shipping. I've got a handful of pieces and parts here because we don't have any collectors. Now, when I went online to look for 2.5 inch collectors to go to my factory manifolds, they were like $35. I bought an entire kit of exhausts for less than $100. I'm not paying $35, $40 plus shipping just for a couple of collectors so that I can connect cheap exhaust to my manifolds. So what I did is I went into the local big box store and I got these 2.5 inch to 2 1/4 inch adapters. And I've got these exhaust plates because this is factory manifold exhaust. It only has 2 bolts, doesn't have 3, they're not headers. And essentially this goes right through here, pulls up, holds tight. So I put some tape around there. We're gonna cut this off and make our own header flanges, manifold flanges, and then we're just gonna run our exhaust right up onto that, and we'll weld her all up once we're done. We'll be good to go. I do have a bunch of random exhaust stuff that I keep laying around the shop from different projects, extra clamps and who knows what. These are some 45 pieces that I bought at one time for some other project. Yeah, so we're gonna use all this stuff that I have and we're gonna make this happen. Let's get up underneath the car here. So you can see the exhaust that I kind of hillbillied together that has lasted 2 seasons, and it works. But again, you can only hear half of the car at a time, and that just doesn't sound quite right. On true dual exhaust, you would run them straight out the back. And then when you stand behind the car, you can hear both sides of the engine at the same time. It'll sound balanced, it'll sound really good, but because you can only hear half of my engine at a time, it just doesn't sound right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run our exhaust straight back. We're gonna go down these little slots here, and then we're gonna put an H-pipe probably in here or in here. Probably here's probably best because the pipes will be real close together. And then we're just gonna angle them out the back over here somewhere in front of the back tires, or maybe we'll tip them down over here by the rear end to help push smoke out the back of the car. Don't know, whatever's the easiest, that's probably the route we're gonna take since we have basically no time to get this done. So I'm gonna jump right in here and get this old exhaust tore off of here, and we'll go from there. Oh, and we got merch available on our website. I think I forgot to mention that. Hats, t-shirts, all kinds of cool stuff. I'll throw in some stickers with your order. It's a good time. Go check that stuff out if you want to. We also have a Facebook group now, and it's growing really fast. It's fun. Some other big YouTuber guys have the same thing kind of going on. You can post your videos there, your pictures, talk with me, Jason, anybody, all our friends. Huge community growing, and just enjoy everybody's projects, not just the junk I happen to be working on or Jason happens to be working on. So anyway, I encourage you to go check that out and hang out a little bit. So here's what we ended up with. 2 sweet collectors. Those are gonna work just awesome for what we're doing. And I saved 2/3 of my money because some at Amazon, Jigs, everybody wanted like $30 for these. That's not including the plates. That's just for 2 of these collectors. And then they want me to pay for shipping. So I think I paid $5 a piece for those. And then of course I already had these. If you didn't have these, you could cut these out of a piece of plate steel. I'm sure you got an old lawnmower deck or something laying around. If it's not thick enough, just double her up, weld her together. You're good to go. We're doing this on a budget without a bender. So we just got to make things happen. Did you like how I had to spin my anvil around? After I did the first one, I'm like, I need to spin this around, just use the horn on the backside. And then I got a really crisp, nice edge on that. You learn as you go. I mean, that's the name of the game. So I'm going to toss these on the car, get them bolted up, and that'll give us something to build off of, and I'll meet you guys under the car. All right, so we're underneath the car here, guys. I got our new collectors mounted up, and I got them. They got a little bit of play there, and we need to come down and tuck right up against this shifter linkage and go right down this exhaust tunnel here on our cross member. Then once we get there, we can kind of angle out towards the back tires. We'll try and make them as even as we can, but you can't see both sides of the car at the same time. So as long as they're within a foot of each other, it'll be just fine. Now, this thing is a boat and she likes to float. I got brand new shocks all the way around it. And when you're driving down those back country roads, doing your little test runs and, you know, just feeling things out, looking for leaks and having a good time, she likes to rub the ground a little bit, especially with the old exhaust with the side pipes. You know, we just don't have 4 inches from the frame down to the ground. So I really need to hug this thing up here as far as I can. So I'll grab some pieces and we'll start fabbing some things up. All right, so here's where we're at. I've got a big old straight piece and I've got a 90 for this side. And if I stick this pipe right where I want it to be, and I just slide it up here next to the manifold where the collector is, this is telling me that if I cut this like right in here, I can slide it over that collector, I can make a mark, and I can weld the 2 together. I'm gonna cut cautiously and leave some extra material. I'd much rather, you know, it's like carpentry. I'd much rather take 3 cuts to be perfect than take 1 aggressive cut. And yeah, measure twice, cut once. Technically, I like to measure 5 times and cut 4 times. So that's what we're gonna do. I'll get a permanent marker, I'll mark this up, we'll cut, and we'll just work her down in there until we get exactly what we're looking for. All right, guys, so this is what I've got mocked up so far. I just got her tagged together a little bit, so if we need to adjust something, we can just bust those little welds off of there. But it runs right up in through there. I got a zip tie holding her up in place there, and then it'll come out and tip down just like that. And then we'll probably have our H pipe right across here to our other pipe. Now, I need to do the other side, but first, I want to lower this down, set her on the ground, and see how low this is. It may be too low. We may need to try and bump this up a little further. I don't know. This thing sits low. Like, real low. My old exhaust dragged, but I feel like it was hanging down even lower than this. So I'll get this thing sitting down on the ground, then we'll look underneath it, see what we think. So that's how much room we got under here, guys. That is a ton of room compared to what we used to have. We should be fine. Should be absolutely fine with that. And I can even let the back down just a little bit with our hanger. We've got a ton of space back there. So this is a go. We're gonna go right back up in the air start working on that other side, try and get it to match this side as best we can. Yeah, I'm stoked. This new exhaust is gonna sound good. So we made a lot of progress, and here's where we're at. So I've got this one all tacked together, got it tightened up, and I've got a zip tie here, just kind of holding her where we want it to be. Same with the passenger side over there, and as you can see, our pipes are basically even with each other. This one was good, so I know that one will be good. I've, you know, gave ourselves a little bit of clearance in a few spots just to, you know, kind of mitigate the rattling. Sometimes it sounds like you got an engine noise. It's just your exhaust rattling off a random junk. So we've got a little gap here between our shift modulator, duh. And yeah, I actually ordered another one that's a lot smaller than this, and it'll probably only stick out about that far. It's gonna come right down here. You can see we've got our two tip outs here. This can actually go up just a little bit, so it'll be evened out pretty good. I want to put an exhaust hanger here and an exhaust hanger here. So that's what I'm gonna fabricate up next. And here's where I'm at, guys. So I got my pipes on here. They go straight back. They hug right up along the drive shaft. And you got to remember, when the car goes down, the suspension's all the way down. When the car goes on the ground, this rear end and suspension go up like 3 inches, which carries that drive shaft way up in here. So that's going to move this. This gap here is going to get substantially bigger because this is going to all move up quite a ways. I need to cut the ends of these off just to give us some little bit of ground clearance there. And then I need to figure out my H-pipe. Now, I traced a little hole here. I'd like to plunge a hole right here and then come over here and mark my H-pipe for this side. I want to be away from this because I don't want to have to drill through double walled whatever. So I want to be back like right in this area here. I may have drew that a little too far forward. So I may just trace my hole over here and then punch a hole in it, stick my pipe in, see where we're at on this side, and we'll kind of go from there. Yeah, moving right along. Maybe 3-4 hours worth of work, and we got all this done. I mean, really, we could drive it the way it is, but the H-pipe's gonna make it so much better, guys. So much better. So mistakes were made, hurdles were jumped, grinding was done. And it's not the world's best H-pipe, but it's definitely my first. And this is kind of what we got here. This lines up good over here. I got everything deburred, blah blah blah. We're gonna have to weld this baby shut. Probably goes that way. Oh, I got this backwards. This lines up really good over here. Got everything all deburred up. So I'm gonna tack this into location here. And then this side over here fits really good, except I got this big old gap where the hole's a little too large. But once I weld all the way around the back side as much as I can there, and I get this side welded in really good, then we'll cut and we'll make a little patch to fill in this little hole. And we'll have a custom H-pipe exhaust and nobody's gonna look under the car anyway. You guys are the only ones that know all the tomfoolery that went on down here. But yeah, live and learn. Next time it'll be easier, quicker, faster, better. But I don't know about better, because this is gonna be good. All right, guys, don't make fun of me. I got her all kind of tacked together, and I got it off of there. It's all in one piece. This side looks really good. I looked down in there with a flashlight. There's no restriction there. It's great. This side where the hole's a little bigger, I do have a little gap here that I'll have to fill in. Nothing crazy. This side over here doesn't look so good. You can see I got a big old gap I got to fill, but again, we can just patch that in. Right over here, there's a little bit of restriction where the pipe kind of sticks back in there a little bit. I can fix that. I'm going to take a die grinder or an angle grinder, and I'll cut that back out of there, and then we'll just fill that material in, just so we don't have any restriction on the main flow of the pipes. I know that side's pretty ugly, but again, it's under the car. Nobody will ever see it. So I'm going to weld this side up, get it really good and solid, and then I'll focus on that side and patching that together and stuff. I really got to be careful because I don't want to bend this or break it, the welds or anything, because then it's not going to bolt back on the car. Anyway, wish me luck. Yeah, just going to be some welding for a little bit, but it's nice and sunny. Look at that. It is nice out today, so I'm going to enjoy the weather and do some welding. All right, so we got the H-pipe exhaust done. It's right there. Got her laying on the floor. And just for fun, I thought, hey, I'm going to shove my endoscope right up there and see what the pipe looks like from the inside. Make sure we don't have any huge lips or anything crazy in there. Not that there's anything I can do about it at this point, but yeah, I just thought, hey, that'd be a cool use for this thing. So right here's my video. Sorry, I'm trying to take a video of a video. Right here is the hole. So if I get this in the right position, right there you can see where my hole is, and there we are passing it, and it looks pretty smooth. There's no big chunks, anything, no wire or anything hanging out in there. So this side looks really good. Fingers crossed the other side looks just as good. Reinsert the old light here. Alright guys, so here's the hole on this side. What we can see of it. That doesn't look too shabby. Remember, I had to fill in a big old gap on the one side. So there we can see the top edge of that one. Bottom edge there. Yeah, not too bad. Looks like there might be a little chunk of something right there, but nothing huge. Definitely not a game changer. I am super happy with the way this exhaust turned out. So let's get it bolted on the car and hear what this thing sounds like. Guys, look, I even got my hood scoop on there. I got to paint her up, but it's kind of mocked up for now. I think it looks pretty cool. Anyway, got her all fired up, man. The old exhaust came out right over there. Now she's pointed right out about right there. Down in here. And like we talked about, I can put a 45 and spin it right out. Like right here at this back door. If I want to do that. So I'd say our H-pipe exhaust was a success. I'm digging that sound. It's way better than what we had before. And I've got about 125 bucks in it total and a couple hours worth of work, a little bit of welding, nothing major. So I'd call it a win. I got to get this thing washed up and ready for New Paris Speedway. That's tomorrow night. And yeah, like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends. I'm gonna post some other stuff around my melon here, the things we're doing around the shop. Make sure you go check that stuff out when you get a chance. We got merch available on our website, hats, t-shirts, all kinds of stuff. I'm even working on some hero tags. And yeah, this year's gonna be awesome. I'm so excited to take you guys with us. So yeah, until next time, keep on wrenching. Peace.